Thanks to Sync family, we are back. I'm your host, B. We're here with ABSOLOOT.
Yes, and I'm grateful to be here. Thank you so much. You're amazing at what you do. I'm just taking notes over here.
Thank you. Come back anytime. Listen, they gave you the green light.
Yeah, okay,
It's official.
awesome.
All right, so as far as your cards are concerned, is there anyone that you would like to collaborate with and, showcase or highlight them on any of the cards?
Yeah, there's many people. So we did Barbara Sharif actually for
She's
community.
amazing.
Yeah, she's an amazing woman. So we highlight her as a community hero, but it's Women's History Month.
Yes.
And so we've been looking at we have Marcia Pender at Dillard, who is one of the winningest high school coaches in American history.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so it's like
She's a football coach?
no, she's basketball. Girls
Okay.
basketball, right?
Okay.
But she's got all these awards from Gatorade and everybody else, but it's like the
In her
community.
she's not celebrated.
Right.
Yeah.
So how is she not celebrated?
It's almost as weird. It's like almost like at home, like your father, your mother, like they're dope in the community. And then when you're
Right.
home, you're like, oh, that's just mom.
Right.
Oh, that's just dad.
But
Like,
we can't do that.
Right.
We
You
cannot
can't.
do that
Yeah.
because our youth
Yeah.
watches that. And
Yeah.
so they look at some of these people like, oh, that's just so-and-so
Right.
because they know them. And it's like, no, this person has changed the course of history. Right. And so I
That
think.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Basketball coach.
Yeah, and she's one of the winningest coaches in American history.
Wow.
Not Florida, not South Florida.
Yeah, that's big.
American
That's a
history.
big deal.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
She's got, just awards. She's been in Sun Sentinel. She's been, just some of the most amazing things you've ever seen. And so we covered her as our initial person last year, but the pandemic really just slowed things down for us. But this year, we really want to do something special for her.
And then Esther Rowe.
Oh, my gosh. Esther Rowe,
She's
right?
amazing. Yeah.
And how many people has Esther Rowe influenced?
Right. So
Right?
many people.
And that,
She's like the matriarch. Like,
She is, yeah.
you know that it was a fictional character that she played, but I don't know. It's like so many people can just relate to her.
Right.
Just a strong, classy. Like her presence is so like I don't know. I can't even begin to speak on her. Like she still left a pivotal impact on me.
Right.
She's amazing.
She was with the show. She educated people.
She did.
Right. And she took that time to educate us. And so many people got into acting because of her. And
Yeah.
she seems so authentic on the
Yes.
screen. Right.
Yes.
Whether or not you
Yes.
met her, you
Right.
felt
Right.
who she is.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if you think about these people and the fact that these people have passed through our community, right, and we've been able to touch them, whether or not we did, that's on us. Right. We've had the opportunity to touch these people, be influenced by these people, and they set this like blueprint for us too. That's another thing that I realized is like, success kind of creates a blueprint for those that are coming behind you. Right. And so I'm like, well, how do we show this blueprint to the youth? Right. How do we get them into acting? How do we get them into reading? Right. And so these are just some of the people that have created amazing impacts throughout the world that we want to show our youth come from our community.
And I love how you get different people from different walks of life. It's not just college educated or, someone who's an athlete or an entertainer. It's various walks of life, because that's another thing too that I think is amazing with bridging that gap, because we don't just stick to that. Caribbean people, we know it was only 3 careers that you can choose from. Those were the 3 careers, and that was it: engineer, lawyer, and doctor. If you didn't fit those realms, then that was it. So a lot of people, there was a disconnect in growing up, because subconsciously you're like, okay, I'm not there. I'm not where my parents or my community want me to be. But now that we have this, ability to see that, no, we need lawyers, we need doctors, yes, but we also need entertainers, both in front and behind the camera. We need people who are going to write the curriculum, because that's another thing. We're so concerned with, well, I can't relate to this. This story doesn't make any sense. Why do I have to take a test like this? But we're not writing the curriculum. We're not the one creating the curriculum. So how do you expect to relate to the curriculum? You have to get whatever it is that they are providing for us.
No, that's so true. So I actually had the opportunity to teach a reading class with Community Education Alliance at Dillard High, right? And through working with the youth, I wrote a story that we could use for ourselves, right? I didn't want to read anything that they wrote for us, because it's all about telling the story from your narrative, right? So I wanted us to give our point of view of the community, but also history, and teaching them about the Civil War, right? And so it's just so important, like you said, to write our own story, right? We can't complain if we're not doing it, right? And so that's something that I've really taken to heart. And so that's what the trading cards, the comic books, the music, all of that is about.
Thanks to Seg family. We're writing our own story. We'll be right back.